I think it's basically pretty much the same. It's just that it puts in additional language that I think just makes it better than what was originally transmitted down.
Committee on Land Oversight Chairman Senator Tom Atta is referring to Bill 175, the sole measure discussed on session floor today. The measure would essentially adopt the rules and regulations for the commercial leasing of land from the Chamorro Land Trust Commission.
First, it addresses a concern that was raised during the previous hearing that we had on the rules and regulations, and that was the question of how do we guard against the possible runaway of, taking property out of the Chamorro Land Trust inventory for commercial leasing, such that maybe further down the road we find that we've come up short on property for residential and agricultural leasing.
As you recall, the CLTC's version of the rules was submitted over the summer and discussed by lawmakers in a previous session. It, however, was disapproved. This new version requires the CLTC to identify properties it deems best used for commercial leasing, then transmit it to the legislature for review. Another part of the bill is providing stipulations when entering into lease agreements. Some of the stipulations include awarding the leases through a competitive bid, rentals based on the current land value appraisal, and assessing interest payments for tenants that are delinquent. The bill also establishes a Chamorro Land Trust Survey and Infrastructure Fund. Atta ultimately says the bill falls in line with generating revenue for the trust.
And I think the bill in many ways tries to be liberal about how to go about doing this, and doesn't unnecessarily go and put handcuffs or ties anybody's hands behind their back and then send them into the ring.
Land Management Director and CLTC Administrator Michael Borja, meanwhile, attended the session Tuesday morning. Borja says he does not oppose the bill, adding, quote, "It's better to have something than nothing." He says Bill 175 lays down most of the main points that the CLTC had asked in its original transmittal of the rules, and includes a recommendation for the ability to sublicense and sublease. He adds while no piece of legislation is ever perfect, he hopes senators pass a set of rules the CLTC can essentially work with. Reporting for Guam's News Network, I'm Ken Quintaniza.